Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Western Regional Collegiate Cyber Defense Competition Selection Show. I'm your host, Dr. Brandon Brown of Coastline College and the director of the WRCCDC. Today, we'll be highlighting the 8 teams that will be advancing to the finals of WRCCDC in April. First, I would like to thank all of our sponsors, for without them, this activity would not happen. ISACA Los Angeles chapter, Bank of America, the Cisco Networking Academy, Fortra, Raytheon, SpaceX, and our host school, Coastline College. Thank you all, and we want to thank you for your continued support throughout the season. So let's get started with the selection show. A lot of exciting things to cover. I also want to go over a timeline of not just what happened yesterday, but what's been going on throughout the season at WRCCDC. So, as most of the people who are watching today know, who are the competitors, but some fans as well, we started back in the fall. We always do. We are one of the few regions that has invitationals uh, that we not only provide for our teams here in the Western region, which is California, Nevada, and Arizona, but we also open it up to teams across the nation. We're one of the only regions, actually, I think we are the only region that does this, so that teams that normally don't get to compete against higher quality teams or more seasoned teams or programs that have been doing the activity for literally almost decades now, they get a shot at going up against them and honing their skills, and all the while getting better in cyber defense. I also like to take this opportunity to welcome all of our new teams, and they're not all new teams. A lot of them are returning teams. It took a while, but we got some of them back after, post-COVID era, I would like to say. So it's been about 5 years since UC Davis has played with us. It's been over 10 years that I can think of since Cal State Chico has played. It's the first time that I've had them in an event since I've been director of WRCCDC. Cal State Fullerton and City College of San Francisco are also returning, as is Cal State San Marcos. Our two brand new teams are from Cal Baptist University and UC Santa Cruz. So my team this year did a wonderful job in getting the scenario together. It's a takeoff of Five Nights at Freddy's called Wobbly's World, where the teams had to take over the IT department of a restaurant, a pasta-themed restaurant, and run the applications and internal systems. So they got to do that for about 8 hours yesterday. And not only did they have to run the systems, they had to keep an active red team out. They had to support customers and both internal and external through customer service calls that we made, all the while doing business injects as well, or business problems, as I like to call them. And a little bit about that scoring. In the Western region, we break down our scoring as such. The services that are actively being scored by our service scoring engine count for 40%. The business injects, or those business problems, also count for 40%. And then the customer service activity, which is done by our orange team, counts for 20%. A further breakdown of the services include service level adjustments, or SLA violations. This is where a service is down for an extended period of time, and not only do the blue teams no longer get those points, they also lose points or go backwards if they're down. There are other deductions that the blue teams receive from the ops team when they request support, such as a VM reset or a reset of a system, the consultation for how to set up a service or how to do some sort of configuration of a system, and other adjustments. We're not always perfect. Sometimes we have some issues too, and we're very cognizant of that. And if the blue teams bring things to our attention that are our fault, we award points back. After all that is calculated, I look at the red team reports. I had a very active red team yesterday of about 13 players. and they tell me what they broke into on what team, on one system. They give me just a truckload, it seems like, of screenshots where they break into these systems so that I can validate it. All of those different violations have a point value, anywhere from 25 if they compromise a user's password, 100 points if they compromise or break into a system as an administrator, to 400 points if a team loses personally identified information or privileged information from a system of the company. Teams can get up to 50% of those points back if they provide me detailed incident response reports. And when I mean detailed, they have to show me screenshots of logs. They have to identify the source IP of the attacking party. They have to also provide me with what they're going to do to mitigate so that this never ever happens again. And it can take quite a while, and a lot of detail goes into it. Okay, so the time is here. It's been a wonderful season. It was a great qualifier for all of us, but it's time to announce who's going on to the finals. So we are selecting 8 teams this year to come to Coastline Garden Grove, April 5th, 6th, and 7th for our regional final. And the team who is going to be the top seed, who won yesterday, is Stanford University. Congratulations to Coach Alex Keller and Captain Kyla Guru. They came in first in services, injects, customer service, and defense. Second in customer service and third in defense, excuse me. They are the defending national champions. And this is their second year winning the repeating as the qualifying champion. The next 3 teams rounding out our top 4 and also advancing to the finals in April are, in second place, Cal Poly Pomona, who is also the runner-up from last year's regional and the national runner-up from 2023. Congratulations to coaches Curtis Carpenter and Dr. Ron Pike and Captain Even Dieters. They came in second in services, 7th in injects, 3rd in customer service, and 1st in defense. Congratulations also to our 3rd place team, the team from UC Irvine, Coach Alfred Chen and Captain Charles Wu. They were 4th in services, 2nd in injects, 6th in customer service, and 6th in defense. And rounding out our top 4, in 4th place, the University of Nevada at Reno. They are also a team that has not played a whole lot in the last few years, but they've been active in our invitationals. Congratulations to Dr. Bill Doherty and Captain Amber Hakens. They were 5th in services, 6th in injects, 1st in customer service, and 13th in defense. I'd also like to say great job to all of the other teams that we have not mentioned yet. These are returning teams. National University, Saddleback College, San Diego State, UC Riverside, University of Southern California, Irvine Valley College, Consumnes River College, Coastline College, CSU San Bernardino, and CSU Northridge. It's always a pleasure working with all of these teams throughout the season. They're great kids, great coaches, great programs, and you really make my job wonderful. I just wanted to say thank you to all these teams. I also want to say thank you to my staff, because without them, this does not happen. All the folks who worked yesterday on the orange team, DevOps, infrastructure, scoring, judging, red team, you guys know who you are. Thank you so very, very, very much. Without you, this doesn't happen. I want to give a few shout outs because without these folks yesterday, it would have been a really rough day. Wasabi, or spicy wasabi as I call him sometimes, He is incredible. He is passionate about this, as is the infrastructure lead, Blue Screen of Win. He really puts his heart and soul into this activity. Alchemy, my chief judge. Uh, Without him, I would probably be pulling my hair out. I did not have an orange team lead yesterday, so I had to run orange team myself. My red team leads, Caitlin and Eric, thank you so much for putting together a fantastic red team. If I can't wait to see what we have at regionals. You guys keep raising the bar every time your team plays, and it really makes it fun and interesting for these folks who are playing CCDC. I also want to give a shout out to Swiss, who came in last minute as a favor for me to help me with not only Orange Team but also with scoring as well. He's been a longtime member of the core staff of WRCCDC, and there's just so many more that I'm going to leave out a lot of you guys. You know who you are. You know you show up every time to the regional and to the quals. Thank you so much. I will put a comprehensive page together thanking you at finals and giving you a shout out that you so much deservingly should get. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all my staff members for making the qualifier one of the smoothest running qualifiers that I've ever had the pleasure of attending. We had a little bit of a snafu at the very beginning, but everybody worked together, put their heads together, got the scoring engine running. We had a backup scoring engine if need be. So, thanks to Wasabi, Swiss, Blue, Jesse, he was helpful with that. B-Sod, I think you were also helpful with that. And I'm forgetting people's names, and I apologize. I'm sorry. But we'll get you a proper shout out here during the credits at the finals. Thank you so much. So now, rounding out the 8 teams for the Western region will be UC Davis, UC Riverside, San Diego State, and UC Santa Cruz. Congrats to coaches Rosalind Burks, Dr. Shengyu Song, Peter Bartoli, and Dr. William DeRocco, and captains Ashley Bilbray, Nathan Mawani, Jonathan Trong, and Nancy Lau. Congratulations. As you can see, there was a spattering of placements there for all those teams. And I want to also give a shout out to the Fighting Banana Slugs of Santa Cruz. Their very first year they got to regionals. This team busted their tails this year. And I just want to give them a heartfelt thank you for doing so. So with that, good luck to all the teams that are advancing. The finals will be April 5th through 7th at Coastline Garden Grove. Accommodations will be at the DoubleTree by Marriott Anaheim Resort in in Garden Grove, California. We will have a recruiting mixer the night of April 5th at 6 p.m. All participants in WRCCDC are invited. Our sponsors will be there. It is a great time to network with them and find out about the opportunities that they have for the WRCCDC competitors. Thank you all so much for a wonderful qualifier, and I appreciate you all, and we'll see you in Garden Grove in April. Thanks.